Hello, it's Roz from the Oracle Card Academy. Very, very happy to be with you to talk with you about creating confidence in your money. So let's just talk about that before we go into the cards. What does that mean? What does it mean to have confidence in your money? Well, it's very personal. It might mean having confidence in money might mean that you know you're going to have enough to last you for the month. It might be more than that. It might be that creating confidence in money for you is confidence that, you're always going to be okay, that you can trust, that you've got the ability, that you've got the brain, that you've got the creativity, the wherewithal to make money that will support you in your life. Creating confidence in money might be to do with your rates if you're self-employed. What are your rates? How are you charging yourself out? Or if you're a contractor, it's so normal to get at a level and to a point and not realize that you've grown and that you're offering more and that you bring more. So creating confidence in money for you might be about thinking about your rates and whether they're reflective of what you offer, or whether you could increase those rates, or whether you can offer more. Also thinking about creating confidence in money. I've known people who have, on the face of it, so much money, and yet still have a deep-seated feeling of anxiety around it. Creating confidence in money might be about really looking at the ways in which money comes into your life and how you can open up some more channels to allow more wonderful money to come into your life, because money is so important to talk about. It's odd to me that people feel uncomfortable about it. Lots of times people feel really awkward about asking for money, talking about money, having conversations. And I find that many people do, but I do find that many women do. It's like we're finding our way, perhaps, as women. Even really, it's been relatively recently, when you think in terms of women's rights, equal opportunities, that women can look at what they offer and expect to be paid the same as a man doing the same job. And I think those of us who were born into that kind of mindset, and I thank, are influenced by that, but I thank the women that came before that stood up and said, we're not just going to sit here and take less because we're women. I mean, it's bonkers, isn't it? Crazy? Because of your gender, you can expect less money. Nothing to do with your ability, nothing to do with what you bring, your value, your expertise, your qualification, whatever that might be. So let's get this conversation around money normal. The more we talk about things, the more we use the M word, the more familiar it will become and the more natural it will be. So let's find out, how can we create more confidence in our money this week? You know the drill. We're going to go into our heart centers. Close your eyes, please. Bring your energy into your heart center. And then I'd love you to really think about love and all that love means to you. And that might be a particular picture that you have of a person, a particular moment in time. It might be a collection of lovely images which come into your mind as you think about love. And feel love. And through your feelings ask, how is it that I can create confidence in money this week? And looking down and making sure that your body's the first thing that you see when you open your eyes. And you first. Here's your card. Let's have a look. What is it? Oh, lovely. First time this one has come out, I believe. Oh, how beautiful. Okay, that's a really special card. So the way that we work in the Oracle Card Academy is we enjoy the whole picture. We enjoy the whole message of the card. And then it's about taking time to allow your eyes to be drawn to a particular part of that card. Okay, so which part of this card speaks to you the most? And it's interesting because you could look at the same card about a different subject on a different day and it will show you something different, because it's what speaks to you the most with regards to creating confidence in money. And what I'm teaching you here, as I share these readings with you, is the 4th step of a 6-step method of reading oracle cards through the Oracle Card Academy. So let's have a look. It's magical, isn't it? We have a beautiful scene of a mountain, and then we have the lower lands here. Beautiful, kind of like beautiful colours, beautiful greens, snow-capped. We've also got flowers here, blossom. And we've also got the clouds. We have an incredible blue sky. There's so much. And as you look at this card, more and more detail appears. So what we're going to talk about is the symbols which speak to you the most, because they are your personal message. Okay, so as you ask the question, how is it that I can create more confidence in my money this week? Then have a look at what you're drawn to. Let me share with you what it is that speaks to me the most in this card, and let's have a chat about that. You'll see them pop up on your screen, but I also want to show you the actual cards. These are the power symbol cards, and these are the Oracle Card Academy meanings, and they are created as a starting point for you. These are an opportunity for you to explore, to go more deeply into the personal meaning for you. So let's go first of all to the clouds. The clouds are at the top of that mountain, really beautiful. Are they going over or are they moving away? It's interesting, isn't it? So the clouds in this picture, this is the cloud from the Power Symbols deck. The clouds mean positive thinking, higher thinking. It's interesting to me that they're like lovely white fluffy clouds. There is a universal law, and it's called the law of increase. And that universal law says, whatever you give your attention to will grow. Law of increase. In other words, what you give your attention to increases, becomes more. Now, when you're focusing on all the good stuff, that's fantastic because it grows. But it's kind of counterintuitive to focus on the good stuff sometimes when we've got so much that we don't want and is taking our attention. So with regards to confidence in money, if you're focusing on what you haven't got, if you're focusing on what's less than, if you're focusing on a lack in any area, if you're feeling like, you're hard done by, if you're feeling as though you can't have the things that you want, you can't have that, can't have that, can't have that. If you're feeling like things are out of your reach, then what you're doing is you're reinforcing that belief and you're sending a message out to the universe of lack. Now, I know it doesn't make sense because on the surface, what you're doing is you're trying to work out a solution. You're saying, hey, I haven't got enough of that. How can I get more of that? But that isn't what you're asking because you're focusing on, I haven't got enough. I'm running out, I'm running low, I haven't got enough. It's going to evaporate, it's going to go, it's going to disappear. And then the whole thought process can start to spiral. Okay? This isn't what is going to help you. What's going to help you is focusing on where you do have what you want. And particularly when it comes to money, I think higher thinking, which is law of increase that we're talking about here, is difficult. And particularly at times when you really, really need to get yourself into that higher thinking level of abundance, so vital that you do. And I speak to you about this because I understand it. Because there was a time when we had nothing, zero. Eddie and I travelled and we had a wonderful time. We had incredible experiences. We lived off grid. We used to collect firewood. We lived off like a car battery. We lived in a caravan. Oh my goodness, we had an amazing time, all with our son, who was then 2. And then we came back. We came back to the UK, and when we came back, we had nothing. Not any money at all. We had the first month's rent, which we scraped together, and we rented this tiny little house. It was in the front door, out the back door, tiny. It's interesting actually because you talk to the kids about it now, and Zed vaguely remembers it. We were there for a year. Manny doesn't know about it at all. But it's just really interesting actually when you try to give them a sense of the size of the house. They don't believe it. It was tiny, but we appreciated it. And I can remember things being hard for a number of years, not just in that little house, but for a number of years. And I was so focused on giving attention to where we had, as opposed to where we didn't have. I can remember we used to live in this little town in Devon. And I can remember I used to walk up from the bottom of the town to the top of the town. And I used to walk past the fish and chip shop. And I can clearly remember it was a Wednesday evening, so like middle of the week. And there was a queue inside the fish and chip shop. Queue of people waiting for their lovely crispy chips and their battered fish. And I can remember kind of like, it's almost like Charles Dickens, you know, kind of like the steamy window and the little children looking in at all the treats. I can remember looking in and just thinking, how does that happen? How do you have money on a Wednesday night to just buy fish and chips? I just couldn't fathom it. I couldn't understand it. And I had to do a lot of work on looking at where we did have things, appreciating what we did have, appreciating that we had a home. Oh my goodness, we had a home. And we had a home that, you know, was dry. And we had a home where we could all fit and all be together. And we had food. And that focusing on mindset and positive thinking is something which activates abundance. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. It doesn't happen in a month. But slowly and surely and sooner than you know it, and if you give yourself to this completely, you'll start to see abundance. Because you're fixated on it. You're obsessed with seeing where it exists, in the fruit bowl, on the lawn outside, you know, the grass, the trees, how many leaves there are. I can just remember playing this game. And it worked. Because it changes your focus. So if you are drawn to the clouds, then perhaps you might want to think about how you can create a more positive mindset, where you can give focus around positive thinking and money. There's another symbol which speaks to me here, which I do not believe has actually come out yet in one of these videos, and that is the mountain, and I'm just trying to find that for you. So it's interesting, people have different interpretations of mountains, and all of these symbols that you'll find in, and these power symbols, by the way, they're the 44 key symbols that you're going to find in all of your oracle card decks. Just get your oracle card decks out and look at them and notice which symbols speak to you the most in all of your oracle cards, and you'll find them in the power symbols deck. So mountains, the OCA interpretation means overcoming challenges. So if you're drawn to a mountain in an oracle card, or if you're drawn to this mountain in this oracle card, it's not a sign that you've got like a mountain to climb. It's not like an endurance test. It's that you are overcoming your challenges. It's such a reassuring symbol, and you've got so much stamina. You've got so much experience. Okay? And explore, what does a mountain mean to you? If the mountain speaks to you, what does that mean to you? What does that actually mean to you with regards to creating confidence in money? It could be that you could visualize that pile of money. You know, be creative with this. You have to kid yourself to begin with in a way that your reality will give you evidence for. But to begin with, it's playing a game. It's playing a game. And that game becomes real. There's one more symbol that I want to speak about in this card, and actually in the next Power Symbols deck you will see it referred to directly, and there is a Power Symbols 2 deck coming. It's very, very beautiful and it is well underway, but for the purposes of this video, I would like to talk with you about the flowers. Now, to me they're blossom, but flowers, okay, blossom is flowers, isn't it? Express your feelings. Express your feelings about money. Now, what does that mean? That can mean anything. And it's really, really wonderful if the flowers speak to you, for you to explore that. It could be expressing your feelings around, I'm worth more than this. And having a conversation with a boss. You know, getting yourself ready, not just going in and saying, I want more money. I mean, that's just it's not really going to work, is it? It wouldn't work for me if someone just walked in and said, I want more money. Really sit down and understand your value. What are you bringing? What is it that you're offering? What is it that you've brought into the situation? What is it that you want to continue to or can come to your boss with new ideas around? You know, as someone who is self-employed and a business owner, it's so exciting to me when people will come forwards with ideas, with plans to demonstrate that they have their own initiative, that they're thinking, that this is something that's on their mind. So perhaps it might be that, express your feelings about money and asking for more money or planning how you're going to present a case for that. It might be that expressing your feelings about money is just being honest and saying, I feel under pressure. I feel like my lifestyle or my current spending or my credit is creating pressure for me. It's making me feel uncomfortable. Talk about it. Talk about it with your loved ones. It's hard. I can remember Eddie talking to me about it, and it was important because you do find in relationships that it's generally, not always, but generally one individual has responsibility for the money, and that's really hard. Actually, with a lot of my friends, it's the women that have the responsibility for the money. I have responsibility for money, but Eddie is always organised. He's the one with the spreadsheets. He's the one who sets up all the different accounts and knows where everything is. And I really appreciate him for that. But I'm much more hands-on and involved. We have meetings every week about money to get involved and to be aware. So important, everyone. So maybe it's to do with expressing your feelings. Money, what else might it be? Creating confidence in money if you're drawn to the flowers, expressing your feelings. It might be to do with just really being honest about the fact that you want to welcome more money into your life. Or that you really appreciate everything that you've got and it's just great and it's fantastic and that's great. You don't need to have more. When you reach a level, if we're fortunate enough to reach a level where we have enough money to live the life that we're living and to do the things that we choose to do, then enjoy that. And if you're feeling pressured to kind of like push on through that and go to the next level, just ask yourself, is that where I want to go? Is that really where I want to go? Or am I just happy here? Is this my sweet spot? And if you aren't at your sweet spot, then what is it? What is it? Oh, lots to talk about with regards to expressing your feelings. So they are the three symbols that speak to me and are in the Power Symbols deck, which is the training tool to help you to understand all of the symbols in all of your Oracle card decks. Cloud, mountain, flower. Please let me know which symbol speaks to you. Talk to me about money. Tell me how you feel about money. Tell me whether anything that I've talked about today strikes a chord with you. Is it that you've reached your sweet spot? Is it that you're going to define your sweet spot and live there and be honest about that? You know, I think if you've reached a point where you have enough, oh my goodness, enjoy that. Enjoy that. Really, really enjoy that. And if there's one thing that I've learned in my life, it is that it's so important to just stop and pause and enjoy where you are, whether it be like an income level or something that you've created or a project that you've completed or a holiday that you're on. It's so easy to just kind of keep moving on and wanting more and going for the next goal and for things never to be enough. And it's not because you're ungrateful, it's because you're just driven. But just stop. Stop and just really, really spend some time enjoying what you have, because wherever you are in your life, if you're enjoying what you have, if you are really getting into the feelings around what it is that you appreciate in your life, no matter how small, then that feeling of abundance will grow. I'm wishing you an amazing week of creating confidence in money, and I look forward to hearing how you're getting on. And if money is something that you're getting more confident to talk about, then put me a little money. Show me some money. Write money write money in the comments. I think that would be a wonderful thing, and a love heart, because money coming through what you love is the most beautiful thing in the whole world. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to being with you next week. Bye.